All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the live stream, crypto enthusiasts, everyone. And today we have got a special stream. We're going to be talking about a partnership with World Mobile, which is it's a mobile carrier company, much like Verizon, for instance, or AT&T. So World Mobile is a internet carrier company that has decided to decentralize their model, not decentralize in an on-chain way, but I'm talking about the difference between like a regular mobile internet carrier would, they keep all the money for themselves, right? But what World Mobile allows users to do is they allow users to own nodes, and those are the nodes that are providing the internet, and you can own nodes and actually earn revenue from those nodes. And it's a model that they're using to scale. So they don't actually own any of their nodes. The way they scale is for other people to buy nodes. They're just in the business of servicing and setting them up. And then this allows people to be able to earn an income based off getting internets. And World Mobile's specific goal is to bring internet to the places that don't have it. Because if you're a community that has like really poor internet or no internet at all, you're disconnected. You're not going to be able to do commerce. You're not going to be able to communicate. Life's just way worse than if you would have internet. And so they're bringing internet to these places. Even some places in the US, like for instance, Reno, Nevada has a bunch of their nodes because there's really poor internet coverage over there. And the point here is that World Mobile, they can do it a whole lot cheaper than the legacy models. So, these big old companies are doing it a certain way, but there's always a better way to do that. And they've compared themselves to like the Airbnb of mobile internet carriers, where users get to own part of the network, specific hardware on the network, and then earn revenue from that. And people that don't have internet are able to get internet. So it's really a great vision, and they've been able to accomplish a lot as well. So it's not just a vision, but they've actually been able to accomplish a lot. They've been around for a long time, I think something like 8 years, and they've been able to bring internet in places in several countries in Africa. They've got some nodes in Wales, in Europe. They, like I said, Reno, Nevada. Got they helped out in North Carolina recently because of the hurricanes. And where else do they have it? Pakistan. Pakistan is another place that they're exploding in right now. So there's many places around the world that need this and can really benefit from this. And even the places that do have internets, you're paying some big internet provider, right? Wouldn't it be better to actually earn and be able to pay into a network that actually empowers its users and allows people to have ownership? So that's what this is all about. So if you're here in the chat, go ahead and say something so that I know that this is working, first of all. And first of all, I'm going to show you guys the 2-minute video that basically just gives the overview, kind of like what I was telling you. So hopefully you can hear this all right.
Still half the world is unconnected.
There's a lot of untapped, unrealized talent that actually exists all over the world.
We believe that every single human on this planet has the right to access the internet to contribute to the world at large.
We're saying we're going to go after the unconnected, and it is actually feasible.
We're doing things that other people won't do because they're locked into existing ways of doing things. So we're taking an innovative approach to build a new network.
What does it mean for the people on the ground? What does it mean for the unconnected? It means everything. It's a brand new world. It's a world of opportunities. It's a world of identity. It's a world where we can all be equal.
we're bringing feather balloons, wireless mesh, a new dynamic mobile network. You're bringing them all together into this new way of doing things. Nobody's done it.
This is an ideal worth sacrificing. This is an ideal worth fighting for. In whichever way it takes, we will make sure that we provide a model to connect the unconnected. Because we really are stronger connectors.
All right, so that is like the whole overview of their whole operation. So you can kind of see what's going on there. All right, so we got EarthPath nodes in here. Great, we got on X and YouTube is both live. Great. All right, so you can see, you can kind of get the idea of, you know, what they are there. You can see the actual hardware. So they've got these tethered balloons that they call the air nodes. And they actually work with Starlink as well. So what they'll do is they'll take a Starlink node, and then they'll use that Starlink node to be able to give everyone Wi-Fi, you know, through their mobile carrier. So they have their own nodes where they're like splitting that Starlink feed and being able to offer it to these people. And the cool thing about this is, even in poor communities that really need this, like in poor countries and poor communities, their model is still super affordable. And because everyone needs it, it still is able to make some money too. So what the opportunity is here is actually, you know, integrating this as one of our real world asset projects into our protocols. So, so this is a screenshot that is kind of like a sneak peek of what it will look like. This is not live. This is a screenshot where you can see, this is a concept of what the vault could look like, where it's like a power farm where you know, you can supply USDC. An interesting thing about this vault is that it's going to be a fixed APY, fixed at 20%, where if you go over to our regular supply, we've got like 14.5%, 13.5%, but it's variable. It can go up and then it can go down. But with this opportunity, it's actually a fixed APY. But also there's going to be a cap on the capacity, because these World Mobile guys, like they're scaling as fast as they can. But you know, they only have so many nodes, and they can only bring into operation so many more nodes, right? So if everybody in the world just funded these nodes, then it would obviously dilute the revenue that's being created. However, what I did just do is I signed a special partnership with these guys just today, actually, and this special partnership gives you access to an allocation of these nodes. So for instance, if you go to these guys' website, you'll see everything is sold out. And when they offer another tranche on their website of, hey, there's this many more that can be purchased, it sells out almost immediately. Just a few days ago, you know, they opened it up for like, I think 2,000 nodes in Pakistan, and boom, sold out in 90 seconds. So obviously we couldn't just like incorporate that into our protocol, because there would never be any availability. So we have this special partnership. We get a 10% discount on all the nodes, and we're getting an allocation. Our first allocation is going to be $5 million. So this is going to be like an exclusive opportunity that if you can get in the vaults, then great, but it's not going to be for everybody, because this vault most likely is going to fill up. And we don't know like how much more we're going to get, you know, every single month. Like for instance, the opportunity in Pakistan right now, they can take on about $15 million, but that's total. That's for their whole company. That's not just us. We're just one of the partners. So the fact that we are getting 5 million allocation is really good. And then every single month or two, you know, they're constantly expanding, and there'll be more opportunities, and then we can get more allocation before it goes public, so that we have first right of refusal and are able to, you know, fill up while the availability is there. Now, let me see if there's any questions here first. Okay, no questions. So there's a couple things to talk about here with these with this vault, because this is definitely different. There's different risk parameters than our regular pools, right? So these pools, if you put ETH in this pool or stablecoins or wrapped Bitcoin in these pools, these are completely on-chain decentralized pools that are protected by Chainlink oracles, such that it does allow people to borrow. That's where the APY comes from people borrowing. But if they don't pay it back, or if you know, they borrow too much and have to get liquidated, then that's going to, you know, the Chainlink oracle is going to trigger a liquidation, and then it's going to convert it back into your asset. So you're extremely safe. You're collateralized, you know, fully collateralized. Any borrowers have to be over collateralized, meaning that they have to keep more assets on the platform than what they're borrowing and taking off the platform. And it's extremely safe, like the safest risk level possible. With the RWAs, you've got another factor of risk, because you've got this, you know, company that is creating this yield, but is off chain. So there's some things to consider here. First thing to consider is that, you know, when you send money into this vault, you are like, it's going to be used immediately to purchase nodes. So it's not like our other liquidity pools where the money is sitting right there on chain, and you can, you know, take it back at any time you want. This, you put the money in, and it's not so easy to get the money back, because it literally goes into a node, which you know is not, you now own, and you start earning interest on that node. However, there is a secondary market for these things. So not live yet, but each one of the nodes is going to have an NFT that represents ownership of that node, and that can be sold to another person. So if somebody else is like, hey, I can never get to any nodes on the websites, let me check the secondary market because I want some of these nodes. I want to start earning. Then they could buy those NFTs on the secondary markets, and there will be you know, a vibrant secondary market for this kind of thing. Most likely either at the price that was originally paid for it, or maybe a little bit above. Because remember, we're getting a 10% discount. And if everything's constantly sold out, if there's more demand than there is supply, then people pay a little bit more, because you are getting 20% APY with these things. So it stands to reason that if there's no availability, then people might pay a little bit more just because of the high APY. So there should always be some way to be able to liquidate your assets, but it's not clear cut and dry like our you know, on-chain liquidity pools are with the regular protocol. So that's always going to be a consideration when you're talking about RWAs, because with RWAs, the business is off-chain, and the whole idea of a RWA, it's a real-world asset. It's a real business in the real world that you're bringing on chain. So that's always going to be something to consider when you talk about these things. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the fact that you know, there is a third party that you have to trust in this instance, which is World Mobile. Because if World Mobile doesn't set up the nodes and doesn't, you know, give the revenue back every single month, then obviously, like, they're on the hook for that. But of course, this is just another company that you know, we trust third parties every single day. Whether you're go to the grocery store, whether you go to a bank, whether you go to a business, whether you call an Uber, like, there's a difference between some like shadow company that you don't know about and an actual, you know, real legitimate company doing business. That it shouldn't be too hard to trust that these guys are going to do what they're going to say they're going to do. Because you can't, if they can't just commit fraud. If they commit fraud, they're going to be thrown in jail, because, you know, this is a open, you know, public business that you know is working and operational. They can't just run away when you send them money. It would be the same thing as if Verizon was like, okay, everybody that paid their phone bills this year, we're just keeping that money, and then we're not going to provide internet anymore, and we're going to disappear off the face of the earth. That's not going to happen. Verizon is a real company with a legitimate business. Same thing here. So, so that is something to consider, though, because if you're like a DeFi purist, well, this is not all on chain. Now, once the secondary market is up and running, you might be like, okay, well, if we don't trust the yield, at least we could always liquidate our assets, and there's a secondary market. So maybe even DeFi purists would feel comfortable putting money into this vault once the secondary market is up and running, because like they could always liquidate their assets if the interest stopped being paid, for instance. But for the general populace, this thing should work exactly as it's intended. There's not a lot of X factors here. What we're doing here is we're simply setting up a vault, which is, you put money in the vault, and then the vault forwards it to World Mobile. We have got a designated, wallet address for this World's Mobile partnership. World's Mobile takes that money, buys the nodes, and then that appears on a dashboard, and they pay us back through that dashboard in USDC, by the way. So this is on chain, in the fact that you're paying for the nodes on chain and you're receiving the interest for them on chain. And then you'd be able to not withdraw, but you'd be able to scrape the interest after 30 days and then any time after that. The reason for a 30 days lock time before you can first scrape the interest is because it takes 30 days for this to be implemented and for people to pay their bills. So we wouldn't want a situation where somebody puts a lot of money in and then takes interest after 10 days when no interest has been put back into the vault yet. So that's why 30 days, because once the nodes are set up, it's a 30-day rolling agreement for the people that are paying with a node. So the money comes in every 30 days from them, and then it can be paid back as interest. So after the first 30 days, all the interest would be scrapable. And we're actually going to set this up so that you can put money in on Arbitrum or on Ethereum or on Base. But we're probably going to pay out the interest on to the place where you put in the money in the first place. But we have that option available where it could be on Arbitrum or Base. So if you want to completely avoid the Ethereum gas fees, like maybe you just want to put $100 in this vault. Well, you could completely avoid the Ethereum gas fees, and either on Base or on Arbitrum, you could be collecting your interest. $100, that's still 20% interest. That's still $20 a year, a couple dollars a month, and you wouldn't want to pay $5 in gas fees to be able to claim that on the Ethereum chain. You want to pay a couple cents to be able to claim that if it's a smaller amount. So let me check. Blue Phone Booth says, okay, great. I'll take 10 nodes to go. Yeah, pretty much that's how it works. Except, we're combining everything into this vault, right? So we have a $5 million. So when people put $5 million into the vault, they're just going to use that to buy as many nodes as they can. There might be a variety. So it might be like a bunch in the Pakistan, some in Reno, whatever they need to be able to expand. And then that'll show up on basically our Wise Lending admin dashboard, where we can track all that stuff and where we can receive the USDC from that. Yeah, so that's how it's going to work, guys. And we're working hard to implement this. It's not super complicated, so hopefully not a long timeline in the implementation of this. I mean, really, we could just designate a wallet to send funds to and be like, hey, here's the World Mobile wallets, like send here, and then we'll just track everything on chain and be able to process it to your wallet. So if we have to go manual to start out, we can completely go manual. But I would like to get this integrated into our dashboard as soon as possible. And I've been talking with the dev team about that. So yeah, all right. So that's it. Let me actually pull up a couple more a couple more short videos just to show you. I'm not going to show you the whole video here, but
No.
but I want you to see like what it looks like. So here's the one in Zanzibar. I want you to see the node because it's actually like a big telephone pole in the middle of the village. Can't seem to find it. Maybe it shows it on the second video here.
Village has been left offline.
Yeah, so these guys don't have internet any other way because it's not profitable for the bigger companies. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so do you see this basic telephone pole thing? And then these solar panels that power it. So this is the node right here. I'm assuming it's got like an air node blimp, tethered blimp above that's receiving like the Starlink uplink. And then this provides internet to the entire village. And this has been able to change the village for the better because they're a fishing village, and now they can tell people, hey, we got this fish. Now they can use the internet to import things to other cities and even to other countries, and where they can have people buy from far away because they know it's there. So this has revolutionized this whole village and this whole area. And so this was like one of their first real big success projects. And now they're huge. Now it's years later. Now they're even in the US. They're even in Reno, Nevada, and they're expanding like all over the place. Europe, Asia, Africa, North America. I'm not sure if South America yet, but they want to be everywhere. And I don't think there's any reason that they shouldn't be. Like, it's a really, really good model. All right. Yeah, so that wraps it up, guys. We're going to keep this one super short and sweet. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a live stream tomorrow, Friday. That would be our third live stream this week. Maybe I can do a live stream, maybe I can do a video, but for now we're going to cut it there. So I hope you're excited about this. And if you guys have any questions about the whole process, the risk factors, and just understanding how the mechanism works, please let me know, and I'd be happy to clarify that for you too. So that's all. Have a great day, and I will see you